What's up, witches?
What's up, witches?
I'm Linda,
And I'm John.
and this is Getting Witchy.
This is definitely getting witchy. And tonight we are talking about the first couple. Well, couple is two, few is three. Anyway, um, we're going to be
Yes.
several cards of the major arcana. The 22 most powerful cards in the tarot deck.
Yes.
Right.
And as we've stated before, they are based on the Hebrew system of numbers and alphabetical sequence of 22 letters. And they also represent the 22 laws and principles of the ancient wisdom teachings.
They speak about various stages of our evolutionary and personal growth. Some cards like Temperance, Justice, or the Hermit touch on disciplines we need to encourage within ourselves in order to develop and evolve as hopefully better human beings. Some cards like I actually like the Tower because it doesn't matter. The Burning Tower is a fucking burning castle or burning tower, whether it's upside down, because we're going to get into that later, or right side up.
Yes.
Like it's a burning tower.
Yeah.
It's doomed to some degree. It may be lesser or more depending on your...
Not necessarily doomed, but definitely transformation.
Well, just
whether you're upside down or right side up, it doesn't matter. You're still burning.
I mean, it does in the natural world. Pine trees, pine cones,
yes,
don't release their seeds until there's a fire.
Right. Yes.
So that
yes.
Anyway. So yeah, so you know us, we get distracted.
Tangents.
But some, as I started to say before I distracted myself, some cards like the Tower, the Moon, and the Devil reveal pitfalls or obstacles or challenges that you may come across in your journey, whether it be that developmental journey or journey through life, which technically is also your developmental journey.
There are also some cards such as the Magician, the High Priestess, the Emperor, and the Empress, which describe qualities of our character that may be acquired if we persist on the correct path. Or they could represent someone significant in our lives, like mom, dad, sibling, spouse or partner, supervisor, judge, etc., if they show up in a reading.
That's been my experience. Like, I've not done too many readings, and I've only done readings for myself, but I've not done too many readings like it was a broad kind of like the Celtic Cross one, which is what, like 11 fucking cards or some shit
like that, yeah.
But when I have done a more complicated, like maybe 7 card reading or whatever, and those have come up, it's usually been about
a specific person in your life. And then of course there are some cards such as the Sun and the World, which speak about the potential rewards that we could gain by our efforts if we follow the correct path.
But again, I think, as we've mentioned before, tarot is no different than runes, no different than the pendulum, in that the cards are giving you... Now, if they're talking about a specific person in your life, then I don't know, unless they change their course of action or the way they are doing things at that moment, it probably won't change. But just like with the pendulum, if we make different choices, so now we know this is going to happen, or we think it's going to happen, but what if I did this to try to help make it happen, and that's actually the opposite of what needed to
Mm. Well, okay.
Like based on,
So
see, here's the thing, the is it crux the position? If you
juxtaposition.
juxtaposition, thank you. Knowing what is likely to happen, would that change your actions? Kind of like in the Matrix when she said, "Don't worry about the vase," and he's like, "What vase?"
And then he
He
knocks over
knocks
the
it over,
vase.
and then she says, "Well, what if I had never even said anything about the vase?" Or
He wouldn't
something
have
to
knocked it
that.
over.
Right. That's what I was getting at. Anyway, sorry guys, you know us. Anyway, you're gonna do this one.
Okay, so according to Court de Giblin,
And who
there
is that?
I
Okay. Six
I don't
personages
know.
belonging to human
I
society.
that part escapes my now.
So according to
Court de Geblin's 6 personages belonging to human society. They are the Hierophant, also known as the Pope in some decks, the High Priestess, also known as the Papist in
the
some
Hierophant
decks.
sounds like something depraved.
It does, which I think is probably why some people refer to it as the Pope.
That's not our opinion. I'm just
And then, of course, you have the Emperor, the Empress, the Magician, who is also known as the Juggler or the Magus, and then the Hermit.
okay.
There are also 2 allegorical personages, which are the Devil and Death. So, I mean, neither one of those really is
they're not a physical
being,
right.
I mean,
Well,
unless, of course, you watch Supernatural, and then they both are. And dude, Death in that series has like the most iconic entrance ever. If you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube, dude. You will not be disappointed.
so the cards also represent 4 cardinal virtues: justice, temperance, strength. And you'll notice some of these are mentioned multiple times.
Yes.
Because each card can hold
Multiple
yes.
Yes.
But temperance, strength, and prudence, which is the Hanged Man. It would have been prudent for him to not get in that position.
You would think, yes.
You would think. There's also 3 astronomical elements: the sun, the moon, and stars. The star. And then there's 2 cards relating to the fatality of human life: the Lovers and the Wheel of Fortune.
Yes. And then, of course, you also have the 4
which
elements.
We also have back here.
Well,
that's the Wheel of Life.
That's the Wheel of the Year.
The year.
But I mean, fortune comes to us
throughout the year.
Yes. And then, of course, the 4 elements of cosmic fatality, which are the Chariot, Judgment, the Tower, which represents the house of God, apparently, and the world.
In this, but
in
not in the other. It didn't. Well, it represented the High Castle, maybe, but
right.
not.
But this is in Court Geblin's little I don't know what word I'm looking for.
It's okay. Each card has a primary principle.
Yes.
Each card has an as we've already stated, an astrological correspondence, whether it be and then there's also the elemental correspondences: earth, air, fire, water. I also believe that spirit is in there too, even though most books don't mention that element
right
with the tarot, but that's just my own. And then of course there's a planetary alignment with every card,
and it's
or
not
multiples.
Yes, multiples, but not necessarily a planet. If it's aligned with the sun or the moon, those are considered planets.
Well, those are No, we are talking about old
celestial bodies that have an effect on.
And then each one also is identified with at least one zodiac sign.
Yes.
Most of them multiple. So shall we get into the card?
Yes, yes.
All
Let's
right.
get into the cards. All
So
right.
the
So
Fool.
first up,
That's the one that we found my deck.
yes.
Where did we?
Where did you put it?
Anyway, with a card or the picture similar to that, I colored that with gel pens. Mine is a little bit brighter
And also a little bit smaller.
and smaller. Yeah. I said that about the deck because they were like little, they were like that big.
They were tiny.
But that is the Fool.
Yes. So
card 0.
So for those of you keeping track, all of these analyses are going to be based on this deck, which is the Rider-Waite deck. Okay. This is the most popular and predominant deck.
Most commonly used.
Yes. So, and that's the one that all of our books basically give the analysis on. So,
like some of the more creative decks, like the cat decks, the freaking Egyptian decks. I have a Babylonian deck. Those are going to be generally, at least my knowledge and understanding is, those are going to be for like your personal, like if something calls out to you and you use that deck, that's probably going to be primarily for your personal readings. But then if you did a reading for somebody else, it would likely be that deck, the Rider-Waite.
So here's the thing though, like I've done readings for other people and I've shown them like one specific card from each of my decks. It's always the same card, and told them to choose which one calls to them.
Which deck?
Yes, which deck, and done readings for them that way. When somebody goes and creates their own deck, they will take the symbolism, the meaning behind
the Fool,
what the Rider-Waite deck, the main most popular deck, and translate it into imagery that speaks to them.
Gotcha.
But the meaning is usually the same. Not always, but usually. So.
But we got a lot to go through.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So the Fool, card number 0. Although sometimes it is unnumbered. There are some decks that just don't give it a number. It can either be the very first card in the major arcana, or it can be the very last card in the major arcana.
Which is interesting because the ace
can also be the first or the last.
Right.
Right. And one thing that I found interesting.
Or the 1, which here's the 1 card.
One thing that I found interesting was that in one of my source books, it actually wasn't the first or the last. It was the second to last.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway.
And again, it's also the only card that literally translated over into the regular playing cards as the Joker.
Yes, which are wild.
Yes.
They're the wild card.
Based on the element of air, or associated with the element of air, and the planet Uranus. Again, this is one of those that does not have a single zodiac sign associated with it, but has 3: Aquarius, Pisces, and Aries. So Aquarius, the age of enlightenment, Pisces being a water sign, and Aries being a war. I mean, it's not like Mars, but Aries is not.
Well, I mean, depending on the spelling of Aries, in this case, it's Aries, the ram, the constellation, but Aries, the Greek god of war. It's pretty fiery.
Yeah.
But he's usually associated with Mars. So
in numerology, 0 is an open container encompassing everything and also nothing at the same time. The Hebrew letter associated with this card, which you will find in the Rider-Waite and some others, but definitely the Rider-Waite, is Aleph, A-L-E-P-H. Primary principle being entrance,
Yes, because if you look at the imagery,
Mhm.
he is entering a brave new world. He is
Okay.
off on an adventure.
Okay. All right. As you just saw from the card, it's a young man. He's coming down from the mountains, eager to embark on a new adventures and seemingly oblivious to the potential dangers
The
that could
fact that he's
befall him.
about to step off a cliff.
The symbolism in the card, the mountains represent structure of divine order, the sun shining down on him, and the cosmic flame of the sleeves on his robe indicate
Yes.
that he is full of the promise of creativity. Pure white inner robe equals inner wisdom. The YHVH in the folds of the robe by his neck equals that, or means that he's
Yeah, it's
protected.
super,
It's
super,
super tiny.
super tiny, but it is like up here around his neckline.
The dog in the picture represents faithfulness, and faithfulness to the path. And the fool's domination over the emotional, animalistic nature. The white rose
In his hand.
symbolizes purity
Mm-hmm.
and spiritual love. The staff earned earns a degree of authority, and you don't typically have a staff if you haven't earned it. The 7 orbs on the belt equate to the 7 sacred planets in our solar system, or the 7 planes of existence, the 7 heavens, and the 7 major energy centers of the human body, the 7 chakras. Uh, the belt symbolizes the cycles of time and limitations. The crescent moon on the coat symbolizes the presence of the soul. Uh, the keywords: beginnings, freedom, innocence, originality, adventure, idealism, and spontaneity.
Yes, when he comes into a reading upright. If he comes in
If
way,
you follow that, like that, it is not.
that's true, because not everybody follows that.
It's not written in law that if it's upside down. Now, if you're doing a reading for yourself, it's obvious what's upside down. But if you're doing a reading for somebody else that's sitting across from you, which is upside down? I mean, you would need to determine which is right facing them.
I think it would be whatever is facing the person reading the card, like the actual reader of the
reader
cards.
of the cards. Okay, because that's like that's one of the issues I have with the whole reverse.
Which I think is one of the reasons why there were a couple sources of mine that say they just don't deal with that.
Yeah. Now, if you follow the reverse side of it, like if this was an upside down, the reverse keywords will be reckless, careless, distracted, naive,
Foolish,
surprise, foolish, gullible, stale, and dull.
I think we've all known
The
like
exact that. I mean, that would be the exact opposite of a jester, which is kind of what the fool sort of.
Yes, but that's probably why it's in the reverse, is because right. It's the opposite of.
We have, yes,
but anyway.
The magician, card number 1.
Isn't he pretty?
Mm.
So in tarot spreads, he is often used as the significator card if the person wanting the reading is male. And as we discussed in our previous episode, that person would be known as the current. If the reading is for a woman, if this card shows up during the reading, it usually will represent a man in her life. Could be a romantic partner, supervisor, father, whatever. The element associated with this card is air. The planet associated is Mercury. And this one is another one that has multiple zodiac signs: Gemini, Virgo, and Aries. So Gemini, the twins, Virgo,
another water sign.
Yes. And then Aries again, hothead.
No.
Yeah. The numerology associated with this card is the number 1, which is the beginning, the individual. The Hebrew letter is Beth, which for the normal alphabet would be the letter B. The primary principle is creativity in action. Now, this card is described as a young man. I mean, you can't, he's not gray, so yeah, okay, he's young. A young man in magician's robes stands before an altar. His right hand is extended above his head, holding a wand, while his left hand is pointed downward towards the earth. The infinity symbol hovers over his head. Around his waist is you maybe can't see it, but the belt is actually a serpent that's eating its own tail. And set before him on the altar are the 4 symbols of the minor arcana. You've got the staff, the sword, the pentacle, and the cup. And there are roses and lilies growing not only above him, but around him as well. Now, the symbolism of this card, the wand, I'm not sure if you can tell, but it actually has 2 different terminated ends. And that is said to represent the possibility and ability to separate one thing into 2 and then recombine them later in a different manner. It also represents individuality and uniqueness. His red cloak is said to represent energy, passion, lifeblood, willpower, and the personal creative force. His white gown that he's wearing is said to represent purity of intention behind his actions. The serpent belt is said to represent the never-ending cycle of evolution. The infinity symbol over his head represents the connection to spirit. His wand pointing up with his hand pointing down basically represents the as above, so below that we oftentimes use in our spell work or our rituals. The staff on the table represents spirit. The cup represents emotions. The sword represents the mind, and the coin or the pentacle represents matter. The roses and lilies represent development of consciousness and an element of aspiration towards greater spiritual achievement. Now, when it comes to the upright position, the keywords associated with this particular card are going to be initiative, new circumstances, new beginnings, great hopes for the future, intuition, self-confidence, willpower, intelligence, and skill in action. When he is reversed, it's going to represent deceit or a manipulation for personal gain.
Interesting. So the third, or card number 2 in the deck, is the High Priestess. A beautiful imagery, or they've all been beautiful, but so it's card number 2. The element associated specifically with it is water. The celestial body is the moon. The planetary body is the moon. So the main zodiac sign apparently for the priestess, the High Priestess, excuse me, is Cancer, but can also sometimes fall within Pisces or Virgo. I do not know why it would sometimes fall into those, but I'm sure in your research, if this is something that you want to learn more of, that you will figure that one out.
Well,
in numerology,
are Pisces and Virgos not also water signs?
yes,
Okay.
they're both water signs.
Okay.
In numerology, the number 2 also stands for duality, balance, and harmony. So here the Hebrew letter in this one, it's not like the first two were AB. This is not C, it's Gimel, Gimel. So it's G. The primary principle behind this card is emotions. And I would think emotional strength because it's the high priestess. The card description, it's a young woman. She's seated between two pillars of the mystic temple, which in some writings that there were two pillars originally in the ancient temple. And they represented they represented the female aspect, the goddess.
Okay.
Because they had, it was, yeah, anyway. So she's seated between two pillars of the temple, one black and one white, with a horned is it diadem on her head, a crescent moon at her feet, and her aqua garments flowing down around her. On one of the pillars is the letter B for Binah, Binah, and on the other is a letter J for Jehovah or Jehovah.
So I do want to say there was actually one or two sources that said that the B actually stands for Beelzebub, which I don't agree with. Because if you think about it, so Bina is for the mother source, the feminine source of creation.
Well, which is why I was saying, like, in supposedly,
right.
I am not a scholar of ancient Hebrew or Canaanite followings, but from stuff that I've read and researched, there was the feminine originally in the temple was represented by two pillars. So her sitting between the two, and so much is based on, I mean, you got the Hebrew letters and words for those letters and numerology. I mean, just it makes sense to me that that's the goddess. Anyway. Now in her hand, she holds a scroll that reads Torah. Pomegranates and palm trees adorn the tapestry behind her. The symbolism in the card, the Torah scroll represents the greater law, the secret law and second sense of the word. Pomegranates and palm trees represent fertility and creativity, also abundance.
Yes.
I mean, if you had pomegranates and figs or palms, you were set. So the B in Banah basically is the Hebrew word indicating the loving power of the world mother, the feminine force in the universe. The J for Jehovah equates to the father, the masculine face of divinity. The crescent moon at her feet equates to the emotional nature, and the flowing aqua garments is representative of the fluidity of her feelings and emotions. Upright, it means intuition, and wow, I am having a hard freaking time. Intuition and self-knowledge. The reverse is a disconnection from intuition, disconnecting from nature, from the world around you, not feeling a part of, and refusal to look within.
And then we have the Empress, card number 3. Element associated with this is Earth. The planet is Venus, which actually kind of makes sense to me. Zodiac signs associated with this are Taurus and Libra. which is one of the reasons why Venus
Bullheaded.
makes sense, because Venus rules Libra. The numerology of the number 3 represents creativity, growth, and expansion. The Hebrew letter associated with this card is Daleth.
And now it's back to the freaking. So this is the 4th letter.
Yes.
And it's D.
Well,
but C was a G.
um,
See, those are some of the things that have confused me, because I've done a lot of studying of that. I mean, it's anyway. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
the primary principle behind this card is relating. The card description is that a lovely, stately figure is seated. She is wearing rich vestments and a 12-star diadem on her head, which, if you don't know what a diadem is, it's basically a tiara. Okay. Or a crown.
And rich vestments is like
the clothing.
Wearing chinchilla. I mean, well, that's a robe.
Yes.
So a chinchilla robe.
Okay, sure. A shield with the symbol of
What would
Venus.
be very expensive. That's what I was
okay.
saying.
Rest beside her. There is a ripening field of corn before her and a waterfall behind her, and the globe of this world surmounts the scepter that she holds. So she does have a little scepter there. Now, one of the things that I found interesting with this particular card is that there have been some suppositions saying that she is pregnant. I mean, in a way, she kind of looks it, but
well, with that big frumpy chinchilla thing wrapped around her, you can't really tell. But yeah,
which I never like.
Robe.
That's what didn't occur to me until I was reading that source. And actually, when I looked at this card when I was doing the research, I was like, oh,
yeah,
she kind of looks a little pregnant.
Kinda. But I mean, that's the fullness of
the
feminine.
Yes, the feminine. So symbolism of this card, the sign of Venus on the shield represents the unification of sense and the senses, as well as an openness to love and beauty in all of its forms. I mean, you've got visual, you have auditory. Beauty is beauty. Okay, and this represents the unification of beauty in all of its forms. The field of grain represents fruitfulness and reaping life's harvest. The pomegranates on her robe represent passion, fertility, and the ability to create. I mean, she is a woman. She does have the ability to create
and
life.
That would also lean towards the
possibility of her being
pregnant in that image.
Yes. The crown of stars. Now, there are 12 stars in her crown, so this represents her understanding of the 12 primary patterns and archetypes that make up the forms of the world, also known as the 12 zodiac signs. The well, yes, I know. There's really 13.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
The yellow sky behind her.
You love me.
I do love you deeply and wholeheartedly. The yellow sky behind her represents the awareness of one's consciousness. The waterfall is representative of a connection to the feeling of nature. Now, underneath her crown, there is a band of myrtle. I'm not sure if you can really see it. It's kind of small, but that band of myrtle on her head represents a conscious awareness of natural law and a victory over personal passions. So she's kind of had to temper her passions to get where she wanted to be. When she is found upright in your reading, she is representative, or her keywords are receiving love and creativity. Should you find her reversed or upside down, the keywords associated are disconnection and creative blocks. Now, I do want to point out one thing. Pregnancy in the cards does not necessarily mean pregnancy in life. It doesn't necessarily mean that the
Well,
person is pregnant
right.
physically. It could just mean that they have an idea that is being brought to fruition.
Right. A concept is being born
Yes.
that they will be able to do something with.
Yes.
Yes.
Like I had
doesn't necessarily mean a living being is growing within you.
Right.
Or
Like,
someone you know.
I have a friend who did multiple tarot readings for herself, and they all mentioned something about being pregnant. And I had to point out to her that that doesn't necessarily mean you are physically pregnant, because she wasn't.
Right.
It just means that you have a brainchild that's trying to get out. There, something is trying to come into fruition, and you are that vessel. So,
right,
embrace it and help it along.
So I hope you've enjoyed this. That's the first 4. So we will be doing the next one soon. But do some research. Hopefully this sparks something where you want to do some research and maybe learn more. Because what we're going over is just the literally it's just scratching the surface.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're giving you basic concepts of things, but behind everything that we're giving you is pages of info to tie it all together.
Yes.
So have fun, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace out, witches. We love you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And we can't wait to see you again.